What's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and today we've got a brand new Phasmophobia video as asked, as requested by the community, is one, basically best hiding spots on each map, but two, I want to take it that step further and how to actually survive a hunt, because sometimes hiding is not always the best way. So we're going to cover the whole hunting process, hopefully, in this video. Aim of the video is for you to understand every single map, best places to hide, and if it does trigger, how to survive. So, without further ado, intro. Right then, boys and girls, so for our first map, we are going to take a little look at Tanglewood. Let's get in there. So, the Tanglewood house is the smallest of all the houses. There is the big garage. It is set on one floor with obviously going down to the basement, which is one floor. The power could normally either be in the basement or the garage. Very few different changes for that. It's either going to be in the, as I say, the garage or the basement. Now, this is a particularly difficult map. Now, in my opinion, the smaller maps, if you are to get hunted, are actually harder than the larger maps because of the inability to run away from the ghost, okay? So, in all fairness, what we're going to be doing is looking at these rooms, and a very good rule of thumb for this, guys, is when you are hiding, don't just hide in the room, hide in something in the room, if that makes sense. So, without actually going in here and looking for the ghost and whatnot, I'm going to show you my 3 favourite hiding places on this map, and then with a get out of jail free card as well in case you need it. Now, this room would be number 1, but we're not just going to hide in this room. We're going to soldier on in here, and we're going to open up this bit as well, and we're going to hide in there. So obviously this is my number 1 hiding place in this whole map, without a shadow of a doubt. If I can make it to this room, not only am I going to hide in the room, but I'm going to hide in the closet. Also worth noting that the Ouija board can actually spawn in this part of the map as well. Bathrooms are okay, all depending where the ghost spawns in at. I'm not a huge fan of that particular one. As with this room, you can open this, but unfortunately you can't get inside it. Right, hiding place number 2 in Tanglewood for me would have to be in here. Now again, we're going to go into the room and we're going to go in again into this section. Now obviously this becomes no good if this is the ghost room and so on. You've got to be able to make adjustments. The third hiding place that I would recommend, and this is a bit of a only if you have to, is this particular one here. I have seen a lot of people get got in here, but if you literally cannot make it to one of the other rooms, this is a valid attempt. Now, with the pathing of the ghost, the places that you don't really want to get caught out in is in here. If you do, you have got the car to be able to use as a kiting opportunity. You can run around this car as long as you've got a little bit of space between you and the ghost, and then come around here. You break line of sight, you break line of sight, you break line of sight, and you can get to one of them rooms. You should be all right. Every time you break line of sight, the ghost is going to slow down significantly. Other option is if you are in the basement. This is not a good option, guys. The ghost actually comes down here as part of their pathing, and if you are in the basement in Tanglewood, more than likely you are probably bang in trouble. So the car's a decent kiting opportunity. This is also a decent kiting opportunity. However, you're not going to have the ability to break line of sight, unfortunately, as with this table here. Maybe a little bit more chance to break line of sight here, but not great. So if you are bang in trouble, look for looping opportunities, almost like Dead by Daylight, right? Look for those looping opportunities there, and the car. But if you can, do your best to make it to that room, this cupboard, or that room and that cupboard. And guys, only 2 people per cupboard, all right? Health and safety rules apply. Next up is Ridgeview. Yes. Ridgeview is a little bit of a different kettle of fish. It is 3 stories with, starting in the basement there, The power can be either side. This particular one, the power is on that side when you go down into the basement. Your first floor, your first floor has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rooms and the garage making 10. Then you've got upstairs, which has a combination of 5 rooms as well. 7 if you include the 2 corridors that interlink them. So, if we get caught out here, that's the best place to go. Let's have a little look. So, as we enter the house, we are going to be entering on the kitchen side. Again, you've got a looping opportunity straight away. However, it's not a really safe way to do it. So, my first hiding place would be over here. Now, this is one of my favourites. I don't know how I don't die in here more often. I've literally been chased to this room and still managed to survive. But don't hide in the first room. No, no, no. We go through, we shut that door, we go into here, we shut this door, and then I go over to here and I shut this door, and then I hide over here somewhere. Ouija board can also spawn in the room, as if by magic. What? Do we get the money for that? There we go. Lovely of the jubblies. So the Ouija board can also spawn in this room. Has quite a high chance of spawning. Well, 33% chance on any map, but it's got a very good chance in spawning in this room if it does spawn. So this, in this house, is my number 1 hiding spot. Going up to number 2 is if you are, especially if you're in the front room or trying to run away from the ghost a little bit, is using that break line of sight technique again. So we're going to break line of sight here. We're going to run up. And we're going to attempt to break line of sight here. And then we're going to dive into this room. And then this cupboard. Now, don't forget, guys, during the hunting phase, I would definitely advise shutting the door behind you. You don't have to, but I would definitely advise shutting that door behind you. Right, now we've got the bone picture as well. So that is number 1, number 2. And then, last but not least, obviously we do have options to all of these different rooms, but they don't provide the same type of safety with another secondary location to hide in. Worst case scenario, guys, if you do get caught out and you do have to hide in the room, hide over here somewhere as opposed to really near the door or near the wall. Obviously, this game's still in early access. There's still a few bugs with it, and only one guy developed this. So if you do hide too close to a wall or to a door, you can clip through it. Meaning, if I can see you, the ghost can see you. As far as third hiding spot, I think there's a couple of mentions. This is a perfectly acceptable one if you can't make it to the others, as is this one here. But I would say, worst case scenario, I would aim for this particular one here. Very, very small room. But I've seen it get a lot of people out of trouble over here. Now, they are your best options. But what happens if you are caught out? To be honest, do not go into the garage. The garage, you've got no looping opportunity there. And the ghost will actually check the garage as part of its pathing. The ghost will also normally go upstairs and doesn't normally go downstairs. But again, in this particular type of building, I wouldn't recommend going to the basements at all. As a hiding spot. So that one there, 2 upstairs, worst case scenario, that room there, and if you are bang in trouble, use this centerpiece as an attempt to loop. Now when you are trying to loop, guys, think about trying to break line of sight. That is so important. You're not going to be able to break line of sight around here, but have you got enough time to shoot off upstairs and do it here? Because at that point, depending on the distance between you and the ghost, you've broken line of sight. Now, breaking line of sight might only be for a few seconds. It might save your life. Right, moving on to the next one. Next up is Edgefield Street House. Now, this is a 2-story, 6-bedroom house with a basement. Plenty of hiding opportunities in here, as we will see. So, let's get in there and have a little look. So, we're going to start in the garage, guys. The power can spawn there and there. Neither of them has happened. The garage is on the ghost pathing, so this is not a great room to hide in. Nor is it a great looping opportunity? In all fairness, bang in trouble. Same with this table here. A lot of the looping opportunities in the bottom floor have actually been taken out and you've got nowhere to go. If you are caught out on the bottom floor, depending on where the ghost room is, this storeroom here can save your life. It's not really my ideal type of spot, but if I was to hide in here, I would be hiding over here, trying to get behind objects as well, so I'm not straight in view of the ghost. The bathroom, in my opinion, is not a very good place to hide in at all. Moving on up to the upstairs, and then we'll come back down to the downstairs. We have got a lot more rooms up here. Now, my favourite one to hide in would be over here, without a shadow of a doubt. And then you can go into this bathroom here and hide in the corner. This one's not a bad room at all. But, even better than that, you've got 2 cupboards that you can hide in this room. So again, we're going to hide in this room. Hunt's triggered. Boom. We're going to come in here, shut this door, and then hide inside of here. Again, 2 people per cabinet, as it were, per wardrobe. So that's one option. Another option is over in this room here. Again, we have got a bathroom and we've got another cupboard here that we can hide in. So we're hiding inside the room, Those are my best options. Other than that, we've got options there, we've got options there, and then if we're on the other side, you really want to be trying to get to one of those particular rooms. This room here as well has got a space that you can hide in. So even though the downstairs is pretty sparse as far as hiding opportunities, upstairs gives you a good 3 rooms that are incredibly, incredibly safe. Inside the room, inside the wardrobe is where I would be looking at for here. Now, the ghost's pathing will normally check the garage and the basement. Depending on where it spawns, if it spawns in here, for example, it will normally go upstairs. Or if it spawns around here, it will have a little bit of a wander over this way and then normally downstairs. But if you are downstairs, where are you going to go? Sometimes it's about that real ballsy play, guys. And the power can also spawn down here. And if you are trapped down here, you basically want to get to the far back of the room and hope for the best, right? The far back of the room and hope for the best. Even if you're in the ghost room, guys, sometimes when the hunt begins, it normally triggers for about 3 seconds before it actually starts to have a little look at you. The 3 seconds is almost like its manifestation time, where, I don't know, say it spawns in here, it's going to walk forward. It spawns in here, it's going to walk forward for 3 seconds, then it's going to turn around and see you. So you can even do that ballsy play sometimes, where hiding in the ghost room is actually an option. Never recommended, but I'd rather hide in the ghost room than I would run through the thing, if that makes sense. Right, on to the next. Next up is Grafton Farmhouse. This is a bit of a nightmare. It's a 2-story farmhouse with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bedrooms on the first floor, or 11 rooms on the first floor, and then 4 on the upper floor, 5 including the landing. This one is a lot harder. The power can spawn both upstairs and downstairs. Upstairs in that particular storeroom at the back, or downstairs in that particular room right there, or that particular room there as well. So 3 different power locations, if I'm not mistaken. Not as many hiding places in farmhouses, but let's go have a little look. So again, guys, as you enter the house, you are going to come across this big, massive open plan floor, as it were. So the kitchen is through here. This is where one of the power boxes can be. And in all fairness, as long as it ain't the ghost room, is not a bad place to hide. If you do want to hide in here, I would recommend being well over here, tucked up in the corner, well out of sight. This would be my #1 hiding space if I'm caught out in Grafton, without a shadow of doubt, trying to make it to this particular room. If I cannot make it over to this room, then I'm going to look over this way again, depending on where the ghost spawns. And we are going to run over this way to this particular bedroom over here. Now, this particular bedroom over here also has a Ouija board there. You can literally just grab a picture of it And that should count, even without touching it nowadays, as an interaction photo. Lovely of the jubblies. You've just made yourself $5. Then we want to hide into this room would be my next one. Now, again, I'm never going to hide directly in front of the door, and I'm never going to hide directly next to the wall. I'm going to come back a little bit and try and just get behind an object, which would be over here. It's not ideal. You're still in a bit of line of sight of the door, but it's better than nothing. And again, there's very few looping opportunities within this farmhouse. The bathroom is another solid bet. And again, if you're in the bathroom, you want to be spawning over here, well away from the door and over in this corner here. Now, upstairs is a bit of a different kettle of fish. Oh, we got the bone there as well. Lovely of the jubblies. Thank you very much. Another $10. This particular room is actually the ghost room, so you know what? We're not going to worry about that. We've got freezing temperatures. Thank you very much. You can stay there. You've also got a space over here, another doll here, which can be classified as an interaction shot as well. Again, you don't need to touch it anymore. And this particular room back here is an option. But none of them are really ideal, right? In any of the farmhouses, I don't think you've got a real safe spot. For example, if I'm inside a room, inside a wardrobe, feeling pretty good about life. I don't feel like I'm going to get caught. Grafton and Bleasdale don't really offer that same type of protection. So you've got to really be looking for opportunities. Plus, there's no looping opportunities, guys. So if you are running away, you've got absolutely no hope of out-kiting the ghost. I think this is probably your best looping opportunity, would be in this room here. And again, that's super tentative, right? Super tentative, but I really do believe that is your best looping opportunity in the whole of this house. Also not a bad little hiding place in that particular room. Other than that, though, if I was to be hiding up here, I would probably pick this room. Honestly, Grafton's just not a huge amount of options. Really not. I'd say the safest that you can be is initiate. If the hunt starts to initiate, get as far away as you can from the ghost room and hide in a room away from the wall, away from the door. That's about it when it comes to Grafton. Right, on to Bleasdale, baby. Bleasdale Farmhouse. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. The, I believe, 4-bedroom, 3-story farmhouse with the attic. This one, I've got to be honest, I think I've seen more people die in Bleasdale than I have seen any additional map. Hiding spaces are few and far between. Looping spaces are few and far between, and there are certain rooms that you do not want to hide in. So, starting with the attic, the power can be over there or over there. It can also be downstairs as well in the back room. So, that is the attic. Then we move down to the first floor. We are going to enter through that bit there, that green bit there. No, we're not. We're going to enter through that green bit. There we go. I was going to say, it's not right at all. That green bit with the stairs to our right-hand side. There is external doors on the ground floor, and they can sometimes glitch out. Main kitchen, bathroom, back room, and then upstairs, you've got a fair few rooms. There is a fair few places to hide. But I've got to be honest, guys, the one thing that I wanted to show you about Bleasdale is the room that you categorically do not hide in. Remember, a lot of these maps, the ghosts, even no matter where they spawn, will try and follow a certain path in. High school and asylum are different due to the size of them, but do not hide in this room, okay? This is not a good room. The ghost will check this so often, it's unbelievable. Ouija board, interaction doll, voodoo doll is in the back over there. You can get a picture of it. You can also get a picture of this bloody cleaver on the desk here. That will classify as an interaction shot as well. Now, as far as looping opportunities go, there's very, very few and far between. This is a real tentative one, in my opinion. You can use it worst case scenario. Again, with here and the counter, tentatively, you can use them as looping spots. As far as hiding spots down here, quite like this bathroom, providing that it's not the ghost room. And for me, I would hide about here. So I'm not clipping through any of the walls. And that's probably one of your safest spots down here. Another one, depending on where the ghost spawns and depending on how much time you've got, down here is also an option as well, hiding closer to this exterior wall over here. Now, why I say depending on how much time you've got, it also depends what difficulty you're playing at, okay? So amateur will initiate, I believe, a 20-second hunt. Intermediate will be a 30-second hunt. Pro will be a 50-second hunt. Sometimes it's worth bearing in mind where the ghost room is or where they spawn in and how far can they actually walk inside 30 seconds. How far can they walk inside 50 seconds? Is it feasible that they can get to me in that time? And you've got to keep that in mind. Another hiding spot is a possibility in here. However, I feel like this particular bedroom is possibly the safest because you can get behind here. I really feel like this is probably the safest. There's also a Ouija board, an interaction shot there with the doll. So as far as Grafton goes, Bleasdale goes, I'd say this room here and behind that is lovely. Now, unfortunately, all these cupboards you can't get in, which is a right shame. Now, if you are on the top floor, if you're being chased and you need a bit more kiting opportunity, there is a kiting opportunity when you first get up here. Now, what you want to try and do is stick as close to this as possible and then try and kite the ghost background. Now, the beauty about this is if you do it correctly, by the time that you go back downstairs, you're actually going to break a little bit of line of sight. It's not ideal, it's really not. But there are 3 looping opportunities that may well keep you alive. As far as outright hiding spots go, though, it really is pick your poison. Try and stay out of the way of the doors. Try and stay out of those type of things. Right, now I'm going to cover both Asylum and High School in one. And you might think, hang on, Shanks, how on earth could you possibly do that? Well, because they're very, very similar in the essence of them. Now, sometimes hiding is not always the best option, as we've already spoke about. Sometimes you want to try and kite the ghost depending on what it is. Let's talk about that more in either High School or Asylum. All right then, boys and girls, we are at the High School Professional. Now, the High School is, I believe, 36 rooms. I'm sure someone will go, no, Shanks, actually it's 37. Something like that. Whatever. All right? There's a shit ton of rooms in the High School, and there's even more in the Asylum. Both the High School and Asylum are 2 stories. Now, this is, again, what I was talking about a little bit earlier on. You want to be able to work out how long the ghost can hunt for. So I know this is a professional match. I know it can get 50 seconds of hunt time. So, for example, if it spawns in that room there, next to the camera, how far can it walk in 50 seconds? I'm probably going to be safe as houses over there, right? I'm probably going to be safe as houses. Now, there are some exceptions. A Banshee can teleport to the player that is hunting or teleport to the area of the player that is hunting and it will start to hunt you down. A Revenant, you are not going to be able to outrun a Revenant if it sees you because of the speed that it moves at. However, if you're hiding from the Revenant, it moves significantly slower. So, for example, if you spawn in the same room as the Revenant, you need to be breaking line of sight immediately. Immediately. So, a lot of the times when a hunt actually comes in, you can really play this 2 different ways, right? You can either pick your room, whatever. Each room is as good as the next. It really is. Sticking to the rules that I've already given you about hiding. Don't hide right in front of the door. Hide away from it, off an angle, behind another object, all that type of thing. All these same rules apply. But if I know, for example, I don't know. So if I go into High School with a team of 4 and they go, right, find the ghost room, top left, and I'm bottom right, I don't care about hiding during the hunting phase. I don't care. What I do care about is finding a particular intersection, right? So what I will do, for example, is if I know it's top left, I'm going to find out like a way over here and I will wait at that pillar, okay? I will wait at that pillar. So the reason for that is if it comes down that stairs, boom, I've broken line of sight and I'm on my way. If it comes down from that way, boom, I've broken line of sight and I'm on my way. If it somehow comes down from that way, boom, I've broken line of sight and I'm on my way. So I'm going to be using the map to my advantage. As I say, there are certain ghost guys that you can't do this with. If you've got a djinn that the power's still on, you might be banging trouble. If you've got a revenant, you need to break line of sight. If you've got a banshee, you could literally teleport over to there and you might be in a little bit of trouble. Now, once you are doing that, it really is a case of how comfortable do you feel. So, for example, the front sections are always the riskiest if the ghost is upstairs. The back sections, however, I'm very, very, very comfortable here. I can sit here and I'll be literally just like that. Me flashlight going, and I'll be looking. The same in the asylum, guys. If you know where it spawns, you've got a lot more opportunities. Now, if you don't know where it spawns, literally any other room you might as well take. Okay, any other room you might as well take. Get away from the door, get towards the back of the room, and you're good as gold. Right? It doesn't really matter if your torch is on or off. You just try not to make noise when you're hiding is the big one. But for me, high school and asylum are very, very similar. If you want to see that in action, I'm going to link a video at the end of this where I had a shade in asylum and we kited the life out of him. We absolutely kited the life out of him. He was one of them hallway ghosts, not quite hallway ghosts. Took ages to work out the evidence. But the breaking line of sight is so incredibly huge. It is probably your biggest arsenal. Now, why would you want to outrun it rather than hide? Now, there's a rule of thought for both of them, right? Now, if you're hiding, you are trapped in a room, you are by yourself, you are in the corner, whatever. If the ghost finds you, there is no way out. There is literally no way out apart from being teleported back to the death room and you're banging trouble. As long as you're standing upright, you've got an option that you might be able to outrun the ghost. You might be able to get away. So it really is personal preference on what you do and how you do it. Personally, I would recommend trying to outrun it. Personally. But I'm very comfortable with the loops. I'm very comfortable with those type of situations. Breaking line of sight in the bigger maps is huge. And also, as long as you know where the ghost room is, knowing how long it can hunt for will really make you safe in a lot of places. Asylum, for example, say it spawns left-hand side day room, which is the room at the very far back, and you're over on the right-hand side, you know it's not going to make it to you. You know it cannot get over to you in 50 seconds, providing it's not a banshee or a djinn that can teleport over to you, right? So you get that added bit of safety. And then if it does get over to you, just use as much in the building to break line of sight. Guys, that is it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you understand the whole hunting phase and giving you some ideas where to hide, where to kite, and what to do when that ghost starts hunting you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you very much for joining me for this video. Thank you for watching it through to the end. You guys are absolute legends. If this video has helped you, do me a massive favour. Give it a like. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me. I do a lot of Phasmophobia content at the moment. I'm also going to be doing a lot more horror game reviews. And I do upload some of my Twitch content as well. If you want to catch me over on Twitch, the link is down below. It's www.twitch.tv/Shanksy. Discord links are down below. All that type of good stuff. But until next time, Ghost Hunters, be smart, be strong, be safe. And I'll see you on the flip side. You take it easy.